Welcome to Bariatric Business Accelerator, the podcast created for busy weight loss practitioners and their teams who want to systematize, simplify, and accelerate the growth of their new or existing weight loss practice. I'm your host, Karol Clark, and today we're diving into a topic that might feel a little uncomfortable, but it can make or break your business. And so what we're talking about today is metrics, specifically your financial metrics, and why ignoring them is definitely a losing proposition. If you've ever said to yourself, I don't have time to pull those reports together, I don't even know what I should be looking at, or we'll deal with that at tax time, then this episode is for you. And here's the truth, not knowing your numbers really doesn't make the problem go away. And hopefully you do know your numbers, but knowing them in depth is really important. It means that they're not going to go away, and it just means that really you're flying blind, and eventually the financial surprises do catch up. I talk to practitioners all the time who get caught in this, and so we want to avoid that. I'm actually working with a practice right now. It's a perfect example of this very same thing. They only look at their numbers, believe it or not, once a year at tax time. And this does happen particularly with a lot of new practitioners who are just so overwhelmed with they just want to take care of the patient, and they have so many things going on as their practice is getting going. Every spring, this particular practice, they sit down with their accountant and boom, some surprises always tend to hit. Expenses they didn't realize were creeping up, services that were actually losing money that they thought were actually profitable, revenue gaps that they didn't anticipate, tax liabilities that they had no time to plan for and hadn't anticipated. And the worst part, they can't change what already happened. That happened last year. You can only react after the fact, and none of us make as good of decisions in terms of when we're reacting to things. It's like trying to steer a ship by looking at the wake instead of what's going on ahead of you. So when you don't track your metrics, you risk a number of things. First is cash flow problems that sneak up on you, missed opportunities to scale what's really working well, if you really understand that, what's working well, and a thin profit margin that can eat away at your likelihood of being able to grow. So let's talk about some of the most common reasons I hear for why practices ignore their metrics, and then we'll get to, of course, what to do about it. The first thing I hear is, I just don't have time, and I get that. You're busy, but with a simple dashboard, this provides you with a quick pulse that you can just look at for 10 to 15 minutes a week or once a month. If you don't make time now, you'll spend a lot more time later fixing what you didn't catch. The other excuse is we can't get accurate reports. Sometimes that is the case. You might not be able to get them from administration or your larger group or your accountant, but this usually means that there's a systems gap, not that the information doesn't exist. This is a very fixable problem. I love being able to fix that for you. I don't know what to look at. You don't have to track everything. Just focus on the vital items that you have to have a good grip on. That's your revenue coming in, your expenses going out, what your profit margin is, preferably by cost center or by provider, your lead to consult conversion rate, your show rates, your retention rates. Those are the key things that we want to be looking at. Your referral sources too, I always like to know, because we want to increase those that are working and attract new referral sources. The other thing I hear is, I just don't understand the numbers, and that's okay. I mean, you're a physician, you're a practitioner, you have patient care, you have many more things that you want to be worried about. But not understanding it is not a pass to ignore it. You need to get help, a bookkeeper, an accountant, a consultant, anyone who can make this very simple for you so you know what your numbers are. Every excuse comes with a cost, whether it's time, whether it's money, or whether it's stress, because you just don't know. And here's the good news. Getting on top of your numbers doesn't have to be complicated at all. We like to simplify things, right? What you want to do is identify, for step one, your core metrics that you're going to track. Pick 5 to 7 numbers that give you a quick snapshot of your financial health, and start simple. I have templates for this if you want any of them, of what the key things are for you to track. Step 2 is to create or access a dashboard, something that I was just mentioning, whether it's a spreadsheet or your accounting software. Make your key numbers visible in one place so you don't have to dig through tons of reports. And I like to see my year at a glance, so we want to make sure we have that set up. The third step is to schedule a standing money meeting, even if it's just 15 minutes a week or 30 minutes a month. It it can make a huge difference. Make it part of your leadership rhythm as a part of your leadership style. I do this with many practices. They get me their numbers. We have a spreadsheet that we share. We review them together. We recognize their wins, which is important, and we strategize improvements for the numbers. Step 4 is to assign ownership. You obviously don't have to do this all alone. Empower a trusted team member to pull those reports together or track trends and give them a deadline. I always like by the 10th of the month. Step 5 is to take action. This is where the magic happens. If your show rates are low, we adjust scheduling. We look at reasons for that. If your expenses are creeping up, we renegotiate or eliminate what's not adding value. Numbers are really, really powerful, but only if you use them. So let's talk for a quick minute about that practice I mentioned earlier and another one that I worked with not too long ago that I'm still working with. But once they started looking at their numbers monthly instead of yearly, this practice caught about $2,500 of recurring expenses each month that they'd been paying for, software they weren't even using anymore. And for another practice, we actually found in the first couple months I was working with them, $75,000 in savings due to duplicative things that they were paying for or recurring expenses they just didn't need. They identified a marketing campaign that was costing more than bringing things in, and like I say, software that was duplicative and lots of other things. Once we restructure that, we also restructured their cash pay program. We improved their margins on what it was that they were selling the most of, and it was amazing. The shift wasn't complicated, and it was more inspirational. So bottom line, if you don't track things, you won't know what's causing the issue. Ignoring your metrics won't protect you from problems, of course, if it will only blind you to them until it can be too late. So take back control of your business with simple, consistent tracking. It's not about being a numbers person. It's about being a smart leader. And this is essential for you to be able to lead with the knowledge that you need. If you want support to make this simple and sustainable, check out my Healthy Bottom Line course that I have. I have lots of other free tools at my website, weightlosspracticebuilder.com. And you can always reach out to me, Karol at weightlosspracticebuilder.com. And if this episode was helpful, hit subscribe so you never miss a future episode. Share it with someone that you know might benefit. And until next time, keep growing, keep serving, and keep leading with confidence and knowing your numbers. Thanks so much. Take care.